Everyone who wants to move to Switzerland starts with the same question, Zurich or Geneva? But what if I told you that this is the wrong question? I've lived in Switzerland, I've incorporated there, and I've walked the lakeside in Zug at 8 p.m. wondering where everyone went. So I have some personal knowledge on this topic, but I also asked friends living there right now, compared their takes with the data, and put together this guide. Because what I found is that there are two ways to optimize Switzerland, and almost nobody talks about either of them. So here is how to optimize your life around Switzerland, or in other words, here is your guide to Swissmaxing. The right canton, the right combo, the right structure for how you actually want to live. Not just moving there, but setting everything up properly in first place. In this video, I'll break down the top two approaches, the specific cities, the real tax numbers, the real downsides, and which setup makes sense for which profile. Let's dive in. Before we get to the cities, let me set the foundation. 250 millionaires a month are moving to Switzerland. For many, it works. For some, it doesn't. And for most who do move there, the setup could be significantly better than what they end up with. Switzerland has 0% capital gains tax on private investments. Federal law, every canton. If you hold stocks, ETFs, crypto privately and you sell at profit, those gains are not taxed. The condition is you maintain passive investor status. So if you are day trading or deriving your primary income from trading, we will be most likely classified as professional and taxed as income. But if you are a long-term holder managing a personal portfolio, zero. That's the baseline. Everything from there is about optimizing on top of that. Now, something most people don't understand about Switzerland is it doesn't operate like one country. It's 26 cantons, each with its own constitution, its own government, and its own tax rates. Cantons actively compete with each other to attract residents and businesses. They market themselves, lower rates, and improve services. That competition is what makes the whole system works, and it's why choosing the right canton versus the wrong one can mean hundreds of thousands of francs over a decade. So let me show you how the smartest setups actually work. It starts in a small town at the foot of the Alps. Introducing Zug, beautiful lake town, clean air, crystal water, mountains in every direction. The old town is charming, lakeside restaurants where you watch the sunset over the Rigi. Everything works, everything is safe, kids walk to school alone. Zug has the lowest corporate tax in Switzerland, 11.85%. The administration generally works for you, setting up a company, dealing with authorities, the system serves you. It's one of the few places on earth where that's actually true. Population is around 32,000, 3-bedroom rent, Swiss francs, 2,500 to 4,000. Personal income tax makes at 18.39%, wealth tax 0.04 to 0.17%. Schools are strong. ISZL has over 1,200 students from 50 plus nationalities. Full IB. Great option for families. Sounds ideal? Well, here is the honest part. The marketing around Zug is real, but sometimes a bit exaggerated. I have videos on my phone of walking through Zug at 7 p.m. and it's I am legend vibes. The town is essentially closed, a few streets, more PO boxes than real companies, extremely calm, but extremely small and quiet. Great for your holding company, but not for your family's Saturday night. So how do you get the most out of Zug, but not actually live there? You register your business in Zug, lowest corporate tax, world-class administration, and then live somewhere nearby with genuine quality of life. So I mentioned there are two optimal approaches to Swissmaxing. Well, the Zug combo is approach one, and there are 4 Zug combinations that stand out, so I'll break them down for you now. By the way, if you're new here, in the coming weeks I'll be sharing many updates and strategies when it comes to relocation, tax optimization, and building a sovereign life abroad. So make sure to hit subscribe to follow along and hit that like button if you have been enjoying this so far. It helps a lot. Now, back to Zug, combo number 1. Zug plus Lucerne. 25 minutes from Zug by train, and I'll just say this up front. Lucerne is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to. Old town sitting on the lake, Chapel Bridge, Pilatus in the background. Most people visit for 2 days and immediately leave. Almost nobody considers living there, and I think that's a huge missed opportunity. Lucerne is cosmopolitan without being corporate. Weekends are lake cruises, Outdoor markets, festivals, kids cycling to school, parents at lakeside terraces. The whole rhythm of the city is human-paced, and it's 20 to 35% cheaper than Zurich across the board. Schools are serious here, and Lucerne Canton Hospital has a dedicated children's hospital, pediatric reference center for all of central Switzerland. The downsides are that personal income tax is moderate, around 26%, lower than Zurich, but higher than Schweiz or Obwalden. The city is still small, winter is grey and cold. If you need big city energy, Lucerne won't be the one. But if someone asked me to name the most beautiful small city in Europe with real infrastructure, Lucerne would definitely be in that conversation. Best for families who want city life, world-class schools, and genuine beauty with Zug 25 minutes away. Next combo. Now, this is the pure optimization play. Before we start, just one disclaimer: I've never learned how to properly speak German or Swiss German, so my pronunciation will be not necessarily so accurate from now onwards. Freienbach and Pfäffikon in Canton Schweiz, 30 minutes from Zug, 25 minutes from Zurich, named the best place to live in Switzerland in 2025. And the numbers explain why. Personal income tax in Freienbach, 20.02%, among the lowest municipalities in the entire country. Wealth tax, 0.11%. In Zurich, that same wealth tax is 0.47. That's a 4 times difference. Let me show you what that means. On Swiss franc 5 million in net assets, you are paying roughly Swiss franc 5,500 in Freienbach versus 23.5 thousand in Zurich. Every single year, same country, the same passport, same healthcare, average income in Freienbach 220.8k. That tells you who your neighbors are. Lakeside on Upper Lake Zurich, polished suburban life, farmers market, sailing, kids cycling along the shore. 10 kindergartens and 7 primary schools in Freienbach alone. Zurich International School 15 minutes away. Wollerau next door is where Federer, Raikkonen, Vettel and Massa all settled. There is a reason why. Saturday rhythm, market in the morning, kids on the lake, dinner in Zurich 25 minutes away. The downsides, it's a suburb. Social life is structured, not necessarily spontaneous. Housing demand is fierce, the vibe is prosperous and polished. If you're looking for character or charm, this isn't where you will find it most likely. But the lowest personal taxes in Switzerland with genuine lakeside life and both Zurich and Zug within 30 minutes. That combination speaks for itself. Best for capital holders and high net worth individuals who want Zurich access without Zurich taxes. By the way, if you're seriously considering relocating to Switzerland or anywhere else, I recently published something that might be of use: the ultimate guide to citizenship and residency programs in 2026. This was months in the making. Every active program globally, current investment thresholds, real processing timelines, strategic combinations that actually work. 2025 changed everything. Many programs were terminated, extended, or increased in price. But new opportunities emerged that most people don't know about yet. The guide covers all regions and all active programs, as well as decision frameworks for which combinations make sense for your situation. Most importantly, this is a living document. As programs change, it gets updated, so you always have current information. If you're considering any move, Switzerland or otherwise, this is the resource you need. Link is in the description. Now, let's get back to the setups. 20 minutes from Lucerne, 30 minutes from Zug, you wake up to Stanzerhorn and the Burgenstock Ridge. That's the whole pitch. Personal income tax around 22.9% in Ergisville, corporate at 11.97%. And here is what it is interesting. Tax cuts have been announced for 2026. While the rest of Europe debates raising taxes, Nidwalden is lowering them. That's canton competition in real action happening now. Now, the culture here is traditional. Let's be very straightforward. Yodeling festivals, local theater, multi-generational farming families, but young families are pouring in for the taxes and the landscape. Ergisville sits on Lake Lucerne. Stans has a charming old town. Hiking in summer, sledding in the winter, fondue year-round. The downsides, and they are real, it's very small. 8,500 people in Stans. So really small. No nightlife. Germany is essential. The culture is conservative and reserved. Friendship may take years, not just months. And winters are long and dark. If you don't ski, November to March will test your resolve. But it's one of the best kept secrets in the country. The people moving there now know exactly what they are doing. Best for those who want alpine village life with Lucerne and Zug within easy reach. Now, the next one has kept pulling me back. Zug plus Obwalden. 15 minutes from Lucerne, 40 minutes from Zug. Cheapest rent on this list, among the lowest personal and wealth taxes in Switzerland. And the nature is world class. Apnach sits at the foot of Pilatus, Sarnen wraps around its own lake, swimming, paddling, cycling paths with playgrounds everywhere. Engelberg is 30 minutes away with 82 kilometers of ski piste and a dedicated family area in Bruni. And here is what sets Obwalden apart from the other rural cantons. It invests in family infrastructure, progressive childcare, support systems that are unusual for rural Switzerland. The rhythm is simple and deeply appealing. Summer lake swim, trail hike, ice cream in Sarnen. Winter, ski Engelberg, hot chocolate at the lodge, home by 4 p.m. A friend of mine does this exact combo, business registered in Zug, family in Obwalden, his words, lowest taxes, best nature, 15 minutes to Lucerne. Platinum setup. He is not wrong. The downsides are also the upsides. It's rural, properly rural. 10,500 people in Sarnen, mountains, cows, church bells. Minimal international community. German is non-negotiable. And the winters are harsh. But if you genuinely love nature and quiet, and you are running a business from a laptop, Obwalden plus Zug is the optimization play that's very hard to beat. Best for founders and remote workers who want the lowest possible taxes with access to extraordinary nature. Now, those are all the Zug combos. What's the other approach? Lugano, no Zug needed. I did a full deep dive on Lugano on this channel, link is in the description, so I won't repeat everything here. But I need to explain why Lugano deserves its own category. 2,100 hours of sunshine a year, palm trees, lake walks, aperitivo culture, Italian spoken everywhere. This is Italy that works, the food is Italian, the trains are Swiss. Taxes are higher than central Switzerland. Let me be direct about that. Income tax tops out at 36 to 41%, depending on the municipality, so this is not a strict optimization play. This is the lifestyle play. But integration is smoother than anywhere in German-speaking Switzerland. Ticino culture is open and social. With kids, these matter enormously. School communities, neighbors, friendship all click faster than in Zurich or Zug. Thesis, one of Europe's oldest American schools, is right here. The International Schools of Ticino runs full IB, and then there is Milan, 1 hour 50 minutes by train. World-class dining, fashion, Malpensa for long-haul flights, culture. Swiss stability as your base, Italian energy whenever you want it. The downsides, highest taxes on this list, job market is thin outside finance and crypto, the city is small and can feel isolated from the rest of Switzerland. But for a passive investor or someone who has done building and wants to live, Lugano, no doubts. I am of course biased. I'm Italian, so take that for what it's worth. Best for passive investors and families who prioritize lifestyle and integration over pure tax optimization. One more thing most people don't know about, and for a certain profile it changes everything. Lump sum taxation. If you are a wealthy foreigner who doesn't work in Switzerland, you can negotiate a flat annual tax based on your living expenses, not your actual income or wealth. Federal minimum taxable base, Swiss francs 435,000. In practice, the annual tax lands somewhere between 150k and 350k, depending on your negotiation and canton. Available in Ticino, Vaud, Valais, and the central cantons. Not available in Zurich or Basel. This changes the Lugano map significantly. The tax premium over central Switzerland mostly disappears if you qualify. It also works in Obwalden and Nidwalden, making the Zug combo even more powerful for passive wealth. For people in this bracket, it's the difference between a good setup and an extraordinary one. Now, let me be direct about something, because I think context matters more than any tax rate. Switzerland is quiet, really quiet. Shops close early, Sundays are silent, people are polite, not warm. Friendship takes years. If you're coming from Dubai or London or New York, the adjustment is real, perhaps brutal. I've seen people leave after a year because they weren't prepared for it. And here is something that surprised me. In Dubai, you can live well without being very rich. In Switzerland, the baseline is already high. Family of 4 needs 10,000 Swiss francs to 15,000 a month just to be comfortable. For a premium life, private school, dining out, ski weekends, 250k a year minimum, realistically 300k to 400k plus. But here is the thing, if you can properly afford to Swissmax, realistically you will travel. And in my view, matching Swiss winters with non-European destinations is the formula. Not enough people think about it. January in Thailand, February in Mexico, March skiing in Engelberg. Swiss stability as your base, strategic travel during the dark months, that combination works better than most people realize. If you ask me to rank them, here is the Swissmaxing ranking. Best overall combo, Obwalden plus Zug, lowest taxes, best nature, Lucerne, 15 minutes away. Best city life, Lucerne plus Zug, most beautiful city on the list, world-class schools, real infrastructure. Best tax optimization, Freienbach plus Zug, 20.02% income tax, Zurich 25 minutes away. Best alpine community, Nidwalden plus Zug. Dramatic nature, village life, cantons actively lowering taxes. Best lifestyle, Lugano. Undisputed, 2,100 hours of sun, Milan 1 hour away. Italian vibes. Two setups kept pulling me back. Obwalden plus Zug for the head, the math is unbeatable. Lowest taxes, nature that stops you in your tracks. Lucerne 50 minutes away. If you are a founder or you are still building, this is the play. Lugano for the heart, higher taxes, but 2,100 hours of sunshine, Italian spoken, Milan an hour away, and a culture that actually lets you in. For someone who is done building and wants to leave, Lugano. No doubts. Two very different bets. One is optimization, the other is more life. I picked the heart, but I'm Italian, so fai un po' tu. In the end, we all want two things: low taxes and a place where your daughter and wife can walk at night safely. And Switzerland delivers on both. The question is how you set it up. And the people who set it up well aren't in Zurich or Geneva. They are in places I have just shown you in this Swissmaxing guide. Quietly, deliberately, and very comfortably. If you found this useful, subscribe and hit the like button. I cover every major jurisdiction and hidden gem for location-independent people, the real actual numbers, the real trade-offs, no fluff. And drop a comment, tell me which setup you'd go for, the Zug combo or the Lugano way. Thanks for watching and ciao for now.